Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alviazhari Putri Kuswardhani. Here I would like to explain my thesis writing to fulfill the final task of Introduction to Thesis Writing by the title is The Interrelationship Between Students' Frequency in Watching English Video on YouTube and Vocabulary Mastery. The first slide is research background. Vocabulary has an important role in learning English. Without mastering vocabulary, it is impossible to master English well. The learners use this ability for communication and arrange some sentences. The students who get more vocabulary can easily improve their English. Here, vocabulary is the crucial thing and very important for English learner that should be mastered. When the learners able to master the vocabulary, the learners will be easier to learn more about another English skill. Especially for students, master the vocabulary is the best way to know more about English knowledge. According to Saiful 2013, that using teaching media is very important to help the students be more interested. Further, Arshad 2013 adds that media is an important tool in conveying the message or the information in the learning process. One of the media to improve students' vocabulary mastery is watching English video on YouTube. Watching English video on YouTube is one activity that most people always do as activities in spare time. Also, many people use YouTube to help their problem, start learning, tutorial making something, even to get entertaining or to get a piece of information what they want to know. So, having a habit of watching English video on YouTube can help develop students' vocabulary, which is related to improve their vocabulary mastery. Therefore, watching English video on YouTube is one student's frequency in learning English. So, if we do more and often in watching English video on YouTube, it can help us to improve vocabulary mastery. So, based on the explanation, the researchers want to analyze about the interrelationship between students' frequency in watching English video on YouTube and vocabulary mastery. So, the researcher writes the research title is The Interrelationship Between Students' Frequency in Watching English Video on YouTube and Vocabulary Mastery. The next slide is research question. Based on the research background, the research question is formulated as follows. Is there any interrelationship between students' frequency in watching English video on YouTube and vocabulary mastery? The next slide is related literature. The related literature of this research consists of some points. The first is students' frequency in watching English video on YouTube. This is explained and consists of definition of watching English video, frequency of watching English video, and definition of YouTube. The second is vocabulary mastery. This is explained and consists of definition of vocabulary mastery, types of vocabulary mastery, and the importance of vocabulary mastery. And the third is previous research. The next slide is research method. Research design. The design of this research is a quantitative approach. This research uses a quantitative correlational research because it compares two variables and finds the relationship between them. This research focused on watching English video on YouTube to measure students' vocabulary mastery. This study used correlational research because this method showed the relationship and the influence. The researcher want to investigate the students' frequency of watching English video on YouTube and vocabulary mastery. And the data collection, the researcher used two types of data collection of this research, questionnaire and test. The questionnaire is arranged based on the indicator from the student's frequency in watching English video on YouTube, and the test is arranged to measure the student's vocabulary mastery based on their frequency in watching English video on YouTube. And the next is research instrument. The research instrument of this research use include questionnaire and test. In this research, the researcher used a questionnaire to collect data about the student's frequency in watching English video on YouTube, and the researcher used a test to collect data about the student's vocabulary mastery. The test will be used to get information about students' vocabulary mastery. And the last is data analysis. Data analysis in this research use inferential statistics. Inferential statistics is used to generalize the results obtained from a random or probability sample back to the population from which the sample drawn. This analysis is only required when a sample is drawn by a random procedure and the response rate is very high. Okay, that's all from me. And the last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.